Alright, so now that we've identified our zones, our trend lines, even our trend origin and our market structure, the next thing for us to do is to identify which phase of price movement price is currently in. The price is currently still in midst of a correctional move, but we're expecting that the impulsive move is about to start. So now let's do something. Typically, what I would do is go down to the lower time frame and then look for any indications that our trend is about to begin. But because this is gold, and gold is what I trade primarily, what we are going to do instead, we're going to highlight this all the way. Let's change the color to blue, and then let's not call it anything, let's just lock it. And then we're going to also come here, and then we'll highlight this. Yes. So what's the purpose for me highlighting this? I'm going to go down to the 4-hour time frame, and then I'm going to see not just the origin, the point at which the trend began. That's the point at which price switched from a correctional phase to an impulsive phase, which is here, a clear W pattern. I want to see the exact length and breadth of price movements. I want to see exactly how far and how much price moved. Because however much price moved in the blue box to my left is what I'm expecting price to do in the blue box to my right. So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame and see what we can find. Let's shrink it a bit. Let's shrink it a little bit more. Okay. So what do we see here? At the point at which the trend began, that's at the point at which price switched from a correctional phase to an impulsive phase, we can see a W pattern here. Let's make it black because there's too much blue on the screen now. You can see a W pattern here. Not only did the W pattern appear here, you can see that price retraced like this midway through the W pattern before breaking through at this point. Then we now have, look at this now, we have price came like this, formed a small W pattern. It's not very clear, but take my word for it. Formed a small W pattern, it came up to this point, came down like this, came up here, came down like this, and then formed a reverse head and shoulders pattern like this. And then price went all the way up to here. So if we were to take this in the language of market structure, what we'll do is we'll say price went impulsive, price went correctional, price went impulsive to here, price went correctional, and then price went impulsive to here. Let's, for the sake of differentiation, let's make it the other one. Let's make it blue again. Okay, so the blue line is now showing us our market structure on that's our trend and everything. You can even draw a trend line like this. You can even draw a trend line like this. And it actually fits quite well. This is our 4-hour time frame, so we'll make it gray. Let's look So we can see that price formed the W pattern here, price formed the W pattern here, and then price formed another, not a W pattern, but a inverse head and shoulders pattern. Let's zoom in on it. Let's see it in better detail, because right now our chart is, we're too distant from it, so it looks very blurry. So here you can see it clearer now. You can see a W pattern, and the price came down halfway through W pattern before starting the first impulsive move. The price had a minor correctional move. This is, if you are being strict with the nomenclature, this is also a triple, but this is a triple bottom, but it's not just an inverse head and shoulders pattern. That's a different pattern, but this is still a triple bottom. So you can see price came down, this look came up, and then formed the W pattern before price moved in its next impulsive move. And then after that, price came down and then formed that inverse head and shoulders pattern before price then moved all the way to the top. So now let's come to here. So what can we see in regards to this? What I see now, let me tell you what I see. I see a W pattern like this. make it black. So I see a W pattern like this. So now as I say a W pattern like this, what do you think? What does that indicate to me? That indicates that based on what we did just now, we're still in the middle of our first impulsive move. So probably somewhere between current price action and this trend line, you should be expecting price to show us a correction now. So that's essentially my anticipation on current price move. That's my expectation, so to say. So how does this relate to? Okay, so that should be enough for now. Let's relate it to taking a trade.